Hey everybody, welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music. We're going to talk about some different albums that we're listening to. Right now we're going through the staff pick list on the consequenceofsound.net, their top 100 list. We're also going to be talking about some other albums suggested by listeners in the future. Fair warning, we use coarse language and might say some offensive things, so that's out there. Sometimes we drink a little, so if you can tell, then that's why. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Shane.
And I had something for this, and then I forgot.
Oh, you're the fucking worst. Yeah, this is great audio. I love it. So just a heads up, today we're going to be talking about the album Midnight Vultures from Beck. I don't remember what number this is. Is this, what, 94? 95?
It's 90...
something? 90-something.
95, 96.
Yeah, and I'm going to be talking a lot because I am a Beck, super fanboy. And so there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about. So Andrew, do you want to start with an intro before you have to hear me for the next 35 fucking minutes?
Well, let's see. So don't feed stray cats. I did this, but there's a stray cat. It's 96, by the way. But there's a stray cat in my neighborhood, and my neighbors have decided they want to feed it, but they haven't full-fledged adopted it or anything that I can tell, because it's still just wanders around outside. It doesn't have a collar, so I assume they haven't taken it to the vet. He's a nice animal. He doesn't hiss or bite or anything like that. But yeah, if you don't want a bunch of fucking stray cats roaming around your place, don't feed them. So. PSA.
Little PSA there. Speaking of pets, I actually, I got to hang out with a bunch of family today that I normally don't get to see.
Nice.
And my cousin Brian, he and his wife, he lived in Japan, in Okinawa, he was in the Navy for a long time, and they have 2 dogs. And I've never seen these type of dogs before. I think they're like a Japanese breed, but they look like corgis that are mixed with a blue heeler.
Interesting.
So they're about a foot and a half tall, and they have the corgi look about them, but they have that fox face, like blue heelers do. You know, one of them had a straight fox face, and the other one had a blue heeler kind of head to him.
Yeah. Okay.
And the one with the fox face was the most adorable fucking dog I've ever seen in my life. She was this big fat fucking thing, and she was like a pot roast on sticks, man. She was adorable. She had this beautiful, she was so pretty. I fell in love with her, and she obviously wanted nothing to do with me. She's you can pet me, I guess, whatever, fuck you. And also, fun story, my cousin Brian, he had this crazy cool souped up car that was actually in the Fast and the Furious Part 2.
Oh, okay.
It was a stock car, and so he was his car was an extra in the movie or something like that. Right. And so I went to his house and he showed me the car, and I got to sit in it, and it had the whole fucking cool. It was really fucking cool looking. And he was actually also in the Ludacris video, the Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, okay.
The song that he did. And he was yeah, man, I got to hang out, I got to meet Ludacris. He was a really cool dude. I was fuck yeah, he is, because he's fucking Ludacris. Of course he's fucking cool. So that was really neat.
Oh, I remembered the thing I forgot that I substituted the shitty PSA for.
Go on.
Well, by the time this comes out, it'll have been a while, but and one of the recent Tadpog episodes, it might be the most recent one, Dave was talking about how when he was at Dragon Con, there was this really fun board game called Secret Hitler.
Yeah, Secret. I heard that and I really wanted to play it.
Yeah, so I did too. I totally did too. But all I had to go on was his description of and don't get me wrong, I believed what he was saying, but I was okay, well, rather than just hearing hearing it, Dave talk about how people are acting, I want to fucking see this. So I got on YouTube and I looked up a bunch of people actually playing this, and it was a mix of people that had played before and people that hadn't, and it was about 8 people, and it looks as much fun as Dave claimed it was, for sure. Like it looked, like the way they were going about it was, it just looked really fun. Like, so yeah, it's something I definitely want to try sometime. But goddamn, it's hard to get that many people together when you're not at like a con or something.
For sure. I thought. Also, man, I think I'm getting like really sick, so I'm gonna cough and fucking do that number for a minute. So it's been a really long week for me, so I think I've just worn myself out to the point of getting sick.
That's alright.
So I might sound like shit and sniffle and cough and shit like that. So if that happens, forgive me.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not gonna edit it out.
No, I had no illusions you weren't. I was letting, hey, I'm going to sound like dog shit for the rest of this episode, and especially this one, which is I'm like a super big fanboy, and I'm going to talk about all kinds of stupid shit. So yeah. I'm glad I get to talk about a bunch of things, and I sound like dog shit.
Yeah, well, that's alright.
Come on.
Fuck it. Anyway.
Fuck yeah.
Let's just fucking get into it then.
Okay, before we get into this, I want to talk about Beck for just a little bit. Like, sure. I'm really, like I said, I'm a really big fanboy. So Beck started, he has 2 albums, or he has 1 album, or two technical albums that were released before his, official release album, which was Odelay. Before that, he had Mellow Gold, and he had Stereosonic Sound Spree or some shit like that. And then he has another, unclaimed album that's called One Foot in the Grave, which I really think you would like, Andrew, because it's really folky.
Okay.
It's got a lot of, folk and, blues bits to it. So when this album came up, let me talk about this first. When this album came up, I had in my mind that I didn't think that this was his best album.
Okay.
And I know I brought that up during Kanye West.
Okay.
That I wasn't sure that College Dropout was his best album.
Right.
And I got to thinking about that idea that, it's okay, and what I've come to realize is that it's okay to disagree with what they're saying, because as far as this point, I've been taking their word as canon. And I got to thinking that, I personally don't think this is, it's a good album. It's a really good album. It's one of my favorites from Beck, but I don't think it's my favorite. And then I got to thinking, well, why did they put this album on?
Right.
And I was thinking, and then also I was like, well, also, now that I think about it, the Elliott Smith album we did, Either Or, I don't think that's his best album either. So with all these thoughts of I just doubting the list itself, I was wondering are they checking off boxes? You know what I mean? Are they just trying to we need a funky album in the 90s, and we need a sad album from some artist in the 90s, and we need a weird one for you know what I mean, for some time in the 90s. And so for Kanye's, for example, I've actually been listening to all of his albums, and I really think that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is his best album. College Dropout was good, and I think it meant a lot when it came out, but as far as the quality and the song, the meaning of the songs, I should say, I think that one's better because it's a little darker, but then again, I'm more skewed to kind of the darker, sappier shit.
Yeah, and I think, man, I don't know, I think this whole list you gotta take with a grain of salt just on the fact that it's a staff pick list. So this is just a bunch of fucking music journalists sitting around in a room going, what's your top 20 albums? What's your top 20 albums? And just fucking, okay, I agree with you on this and this and that. And so I don't know that I don't know that they were ticking off boxes, because if they were ticking off boxes, why would they, I don't know why they would put, 4 Beatles albums on there, or 3 Zeppelin albums on there. Why wouldn't they go, more in other directions, than, why would they put multiples by the same artist, on these lists if it wasn't genuinely these are their favorite albums,
No, I completely understand that. And what it kind of dawned on me, that, this is a collection of people, And so, like, it couldn't, like, my personal views on what I think is the best album, like, for instance, Elliott Smith, I really think XO is his best album. But, we're with other people, so we have to kind of, like, when you're dealing with other people, you kind of have to, it's like a tit for tat.
Yeah.
It can't be your way 100%.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I get why they're doing this, but and like I said, I really think that they're on the right track with a lot of these. But like for instance, I was thinking like I felt like they put this one on because they needed something funky, and I do like this album, but like as far as like if they were going for something funky, like why wasn't it like Jamiroquai or something like that? And then like for the sad stuff like Elliott, like it could have been like Portishead, like their Live from Roseland album is a really great album, and it's kind of sad and it has that cool, like it has a lot of like beats, like DJ beats and stuff like that. Well, Bjork, I bring up Bjork because she's kind of strange. But I really think like they could have done, like if they wanted a sad album, they could have picked, instead of Elliott, they could have picked Beck's Sea Change, which I think is his best album, and it's really sad and kind of melodic, sad and whatnot. Like it's real dark and stuff.
Man, I don't know. I still don't buy that they were just checking off something funky, because you've got, I mean, coming up in the list, we got some Parliament Funkadelic. Like, there's gonna be funkier shit on this. There's gonna be a straight up funk album coming up. So
no, for sure.
I don't buy that it's just checking off boxes.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just, the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like, I guess that I don't think that this is his best album, and I'm just trying to redo their list.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, well, why didn't they put this in? Well, why didn't they put, if you wanted funky, why didn't you go Jamiroquai? Because he's nothing but funky. If you wanted like a sad, weird album, why didn't you do like I said, like Portishead's whatever? Or I think Elliott Smith's XO is better than either or.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like they could have taken off Elliott, put Beck's Sea Change, which is a really sad album, put Jamiroquai in there, and then I don't know. I think they got it right with Bjork, but they could have put Portishead in there or something. I don't know. It was just the idea that at first I was kind of taking this is like gospel, and then I started thinking about other things, and then it's just me realizing that it's okay to disagree.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
You know what I mean? Like,
for
it's
sure.
okay to... Like, it's okay. Like, that's fine. Like, this is their choice, and I disagree on a few things, but it's okay to do that. Like, this is what they thought was best, and that's cool. Even though I disagree that this is the best... They're the best of Beck's list, it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm kind of a control freak, so
yeah.
So just letting shit go is kind of hard for me.
I feel you.
But yeah. So with that little tangent, let's go into like Beck's kind of history. So excuse me. So with Beck, what I've noticed, what he kind of does with every album he puts out, it's produced by two different people. And what he does is he'll release one album with one producer, and then switch producers with the next album, and then go back, and then go back, and then go back and forth. So,
okay.
So Mellow Gold was like his unofficial first. Odelay was like his official first album, and that was produced by the Dust Brothers. And they're pretty, I mean, they've done a lot. They produced Bridges to Babylon by Rolling Stone. They did Mbop, Middle of Nowhere, Hanson. They did they did Santana's Supernatural.
So
they did Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. They did the original Tenacious D, the first, the self-titled Tenacious D, and they had a lot to do with Paul's Boutique, because they were like really good friends with like Mike D, and they did a lot of things where what they do in their recording or their songs is they put little like clips of odd noises and like little sample like micro samples, so like 2 or 3 seconds of different songs that they kind of throw in there, and you can kind of hear that a little bit in this album at different points. So like Odelay was the Dust Brothers, Midnight, this one was by the Dust Brothers, so that's like, so when the music kind of gets all wonky and you hear like little clips of different songs, That's kind of their little touch to it.
Okay.
They also did Güero. The Que on the Güero, that album by Beck as well. And the other person who's been real influential on Beck's different albums, who I prefer, I prefer these albums over the Dust Brothers versions, like the Dust Brothers albums, is a man named Nigel Godrich.
Okay.
And he was the producer on the album Mutations, Sea Change, and The Information. And with the Dust Brothers, they're kind of like light and kind of happy, kind of go lucky. And Nigel Godrich is a little more intense. Like he's a little more deep and intense. And Nigel Godrich, he produced. He first came up because he was the producer for all of the Radiohead albums.
Oh, okay.
So this guy, he's already aces in my book. He also produced R.E.M's Up. He did a couple albums for Pavement. He did the 07 When It Falls and The Guardian, which 07's a really good album. He also did both of Tom York's solo albums. He did Air and Gnarls Barkley, The Odd Couple, that album. But the most fun part, the part I'm ready to talk about, excuse me again. Anyway, he was actually he wrote and directed the music for Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, okay.
So like all of those all of the songs that like Sex Bob-omb did,
right,
Garbage Truck or Threshold or Ramona.
Yeah.
He actually Beck wrote all of those songs, and Nigel Godrich was the producer for all of for all the music.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there was a funny little tidbit. I was at like the actors, when they were playing the music, the director of the movie was like, well, just kind of do whatever and we'll play the music behind you. And Nigel Godrich came up and he said, no, you're going to learn these songs. You're not going to play some bullshit. You're going to play the song. I'm not going to have you so Michael Cera and the other actors had to learn how to play every single song on play them through and through, play the actual notes and all that kind of shit. Because he was like, nah, fuck that. No. I put my time in. You're gonna fucking put your time in. Learn to play the song.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, that is neat.
And also one more thing. Oh, so I was thinking about that movie Scott Pilgrim. I was like, man, that's a really good movie. Why hasn't anybody we listen to all these different podcasts? Why hasn't anybody ever done an episode on it? So I kept looking. I was like, what the fuck? Nerdy Thursday didn't do one. No. Street Pizza. No. I kept looking. I was like, Experience Grind had to do one. There's no way that Kyle and Ryan did not do an episode. And then I looked back and it was a 2 episode thing with Fear and Loathing and Scott Pilgrim. And I think Kyle and Ryan went on a really long bin on Fear and Loathing. And but anyway, if you don't listen to Experience Grind, do that. They're awesome. I love Kyle. I love Ryan. They're awesome people.
Yeah, for sure.
Kyle, of being our busting our guest host cherry fame.
Well, next episode is when that one will come out. But yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Well, spoilers.
Yeah, that one comes out after this one, but we recorded it before this one, so yeah.
Well, whoops, my bad.
Oops. It's okay.
It's out there now. Anyway, Beck did write a song called "Everybody's Gotta Learn Sometime," which is on Ryan's favorite movie of their podcast, and that's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and it's super dark and fun.
Bullshit. Ryan doesn't like things. He doesn't have favorites.
Yeah. Fuck that, he liked the movie I liked, so I don't give a shit. Anyway, so that's kind of pretty much all I have with that. He did win the Grammy last year for Best Album, which was Modern Guilt, or last year or the year before. Morning Phase, I'm sorry, Morning Phase. But, so, like I said, the Dust Brothers are kind of weird. They have really different poppy, like chiptune-y kind of stuff. That's usually on a positive side, and then the Dust Brothers are usually kind of, Nigel Godrich is a little more intense and slow, which is why I was kind of bringing up that argument earlier about if I thought this was the best Beck album, because honestly, I feel like Mutations is a really good album. I think it's better than this one. It's not as funky, but it kind of goes all over the place. And it has like really sad songs, it has some fun happy songs, but Sea Change is like stupid sad, like real slow, mellow, and kind of depressing.
Oh, okay.
Which made me, and I watched, there's a Doctor Who episode called Blink, and in it, one of the girls, she's talking about liking like old and sad things, or old and like depressing things, and one of her friends asks, like, why do you like that? And she said, well, I like sad stuff because I feel like sad is happy for deep people. And that like kind of hit me. I was like, yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I like all my sad, sappy bullshit. Like, I really like depressing stuff because it makes me happy on the inside.
Oh, there you go.
Which is weird. Okay, anyway, that's all of the stuff. That's me talking for 20 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. So with that, what were your favorite songs? Top 3, bub.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. So let's get into the album itself. So top 3. Well, the first song on this album is Sex Laws, and that's the song that I've heard the most. Not just because it's the first song on the album, because it's like the song that I distinctly remember hearing before this, before like dedicating a week to listening to this. So that's got to be in my top 3. Don't know if it's my favorite, but that's in there. Deborah is definitely in my top 3. Dog, Thank
you so much.
Dude, I've had that song stuck in my head, like whenever So during the week of listening to this, whenever I've not been listening to it, I've had that fucking song stuck in my head and just been fucking singing it in my apartment. And I'm sure that the people below me can hear me trying my best to do some falsetto, and it's just gotta be fucking grating on those people, but fuck them. So that's in there. Let's see. Then, man.
Yeah, one more, man.
One more to put into a top 3. Probably Mixed Business.
Mixed Business, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Probably gonna have to go with that.
We're not too far off. My number 1 for damn sure is Deborah.
Yeah, it's real good.
Because I'll talk about what I feel about it when we get there, but man, Deborah is a great song. It's so weird and funny.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Number 2 is gonna be Broken Train.
Okay.
Because I feel like that, like you were saying, like when you were talking about like when you weren't listening to it, that was the song that came to my mind all the time. Just that doom doo 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 doo, like that fun little beat I liked a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And my third favorite is Beautiful Way.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's
for sure.
So if you didn't catch it from anything, if you listen to one song on this album, listen to Deborah.
Yeah, it's the last song on the album, but goddamn, it's fun. It's really good.
So good. It's so funny. Okay, so all right, so let's go ahead and start with number 1.
All right, so Sex Laws. This I'm gonna say that this is probably the most popular song on the album for non-Beck listeners, because like I said, it's I don't know if it's the only song I've ever heard on this album before this, but it's the one I damn sure the first time I hit play on this album, the opening fucking horns, just the burr, 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 I immediately recognized it, and I was like, oh, I've heard this a fucking 1,000 times. So for sure, that's in my mind probably the more popular, or at least the most recognizable song on this album to non-Beck fanboys.
That's funny, because I think, well, for me personally, there's a different song on here that I've heard a lot before.
Okay.
But no, Sex Laws is fun. It's a really good way to start the album. I think it's like, it comes on strong and it's very funky.
Yeah.
And they also have a fucking banjo and a steel guitar solo at the end. So that's fun to have, like, in a funky song, to have a banjo and steel guitar. I think that was really fun.
Yeah.
The one thing about this song that I love is whenever, at the chorus, whenever he, at the end of the chorus, he says, I'm a full-grown man, but I'm not afraid to cry. Like the cry that he does.
Yeah.
When he gets, like, super, super high. I think that's really fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It very much has, like, a textured sound, and it's like a psychedelic funk, which weren't 3 words I thought I would ever say in a sentence. Psychedelic folk funk. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. So that's fun. But this song, it makes me feel like he's talking about, like, a playboy at a sex party.
Okay, I could see that.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just thoughts. Oh yeah, it's really fun. It's really hard to define how to define Beck, because I feel like what he does is he takes a lot of these folk and country beat, like, sounds, and kind of turns it on its head.
Yeah, he's got this interesting way of combining things that you don't think should go together. For example, folk and funk, and with little, like you said, it's got a fucking banjo and a steel guitar solo at the end, and steel guitar is fucking country. I mean, that is fucking, if you've ever heard a country song, you've probably heard somebody with a slide on a steel guitar. I mean, that's just, it just is country. And then the banjo you hear in folk songs and country songs, and not much outside of that, and to throw it in with this horn arrangement that's super strong and this bass line that's all funky, and he's got this interesting way of combining these genres that you don't think should go together, and this song is like the epitome of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think this whole album is.
Yeah,
I mean, not to like, but this song in particular is pretty good. I think it's the best at doing that. But this whole album, like, and mostly his kind of like career, he does this. But mostly on this album, he does more like, it's more funk with folk.
Right.
Which is still a weird thing to say.
It is. but like you said, that kind of defines Beck. Like, that's what he does. So, fucking A, I mean.
Well, at least on this album for sure. On definitely. Different albums, he does different things. Like with the Information, he does more like chiptune stuff, but it does have like folky things. Like on Sea Change, it's more of a straightforward. It's more straightforward folk things. Mutations is kind of all over the place. Odelay, it does some stuff. It does a lot of weird things and stuff like that. But but this one for sure, he's real heavy. Like, I feel like if like Woody Guthrie and Jamiroquai had a baby, it would be Beck.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Anyway, Sex Dolls is fun. So, what did you think about Nicotine and Gravy?
Nicotine and Gravy. Okay, this was an interesting song for sure. I liked this one. This is probably top 5, I guess. It doesn't make it into my top 3, but it's something that I did enjoy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not top 5, but it's I don't know, it's a good song. It's in there with some of the ones that I liked. I don't know why I liked it, but I just liked the melody behind it, and the lyrics were kind of funny, and maybe not necessarily, I don't know, maybe funny's not the right word for lyrics, because they get a little dark in a way, but then again, I'm not the lyricist here, so I like the music behind it, but it's a good song.
And I said that this song actually, it slows down, and it's really bass heavy, which I like, and Beck's voice gets like a smokier tone to it.
Right, for sure.
Which I really like, and what I really, really like is it has this fun, like, A Day in the Life, like the Beatles song A Day in the Life. It has that thing, like that fun, like, kind of weird ethereal break in between the first and second chorus, which is really fun.
Yeah.
And I like how you said this song, you used the term, I think you said fun? But creepy or something? I really think this song is about somebody kidnapping someone and putting him in the trunk of their car.
Okay.
Because I'll be a chauffeur on a midnight drive. It takes a miracle just to survive. Buried animals call your name. You keep on sleeping through the poignant rain. And then she goes on at the end in the bridge to say, I don't want to die tonight.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, yeah, whatever. So I'm a creep. That's nothing new. It might be to our audience, but so like I said, I'm not the lyric guy on this. I'm not the lyric half of this show.
That's why I like when you said this song was fun. I was like, this song sounds like a fucking serial killer that's kidnapped someone and maybe rape them and then destroy them.
Yeah, I didn't spend that much time thinking about like one. I don't remember hearing the "I don't want to die tonight" bridge.
It's the girl's voice. I don't want to die tonight.
Oh,
I don't want to die tonight.
Yeah, that is in there.
Yeah, that is in there.
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
I knew there was some hidden fucked up shit in here, but I just couldn't really decipher it. And I was like, yeah, this is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of slower and darker, but you know, I can jam to it. Like it's got a good melody. I like the melody of it.
No, for sure.
It's
because you're a fucking rapist.
Hey, whoa.
I'm kidding. That happened one time.
Sir, it's therapist. You
said
the rapist. So on that premise, there was a running joke I had with someone a long time ago about developing a video game where you were, by day, you were a therapist, and by night you raped your clients, and that was the game. It was like some Dexter kind of shit going on, of trying not to get caught, but treating the same people that you're also fucking up for the same thing that you're treating them for. Like it was.
So the game's title is The-Rapist?
No, the game's okay. So the way I envisioned it was the game was just called Therapist, but the words "the" and "rapist" were two different colors, but all obviously the same word, the same font and size, and same one word smashed together. They were just slightly different colors. Yeah.
Well, so, I guess I'm gonna have to get like RPG Maker now and make this game because that's like too good to pass up. That's amazing. I mean, rape isn't fun. It's a bad thing.
No, it's awful.
That sounds hysterical.
That's just a look into like the dark side of my humor and some fucked up shit I came up with when I was like, I don't know, in college. I think it was when I was still living in College Station. You know, the most conservative city in the goddamn U.S.
Gig 'em. So that was my thoughts. I felt like this was like was it Mexico by the Toadies, where like the song's about like a peeping Tom who who wants to rape the girl. Like I found a window in the kitchen and I let myself in. Like,
but it's got that. Like, it's got that real like upbeat, like kind of like poppy, stick in your head kind of melody to it.
For sure. And same thing with like Crash by oh god, what's that damn band? Dave Matthews.
Oh right.
Where it's about like a peeping Tom where he's like watching her through the window, but it's like a good song. Like Crash Into Me. Yeah. So I think that was his version of being a super creep in a song.
Well, it makes sense why I liked it.
Well, there you go. Alright, well, now that we cleared all that up, let's go on to, now that there's no illusions for our audience, Andrew's a creep, and let's go into mixed business. And
yeah,
I think what you said was one of your top 3, right?
Yeah, I really like this one. I mean, I don't know. It's all about letting your freak flag fly, or at least that's what I got out of it. And fuck, it's just funky and like,
It is. It sounds like I mean, it's got like a 60s like beach rock vibe to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a heavy Beach Boys kind of thing, but
but funky as fuck.
Dun, 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 but funky, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And, I like that. Yeah.
When you said that Sex Laws was the most recognizable song on this album, I actually disagree because
you think
I used to live. I think it's this one only because when I was living in Lafayette, I believe. I was living somewhere in Louisiana. I think it was either Lafayette or Baton Rouge.
Okay.
And every day at like 4:00. Like the Simpsons would come on, and like the whatever local station it was, they played this song, the "Turn It Up Now." Was like the like when they were advertising. Yeah. So it was like I think it was like the Simpsons and some other I don't know some other cartoon that came on in like the early afternoon, like 4 or 5 o'clock. And so they would play this song when they were advertising that. And anyway, so this one, I was like 12 or 13. I was like, oh man, I don't know what this song is, but I like it. Turn it up now. All right.
Yeah, man. It's just a good groove. And again, I'm not the lyrics guy, so I could be totally wrong about this, but this is just all about the let your freak flag fly kind of shit.
Yeah, not about rape.
No, not at all.
No. Don't get raped.
Yeah.
That's a Mr. Show with Bob and Dave reference.
Yeah.
Where the guy was like a pedophile or a rapist or something, and he was like working a normal life, and he had some guy behind him who like would warn everybody that he was an ex-rapist. He just walk around behind him with like this big sign, "Rapist here, rapist coming through. Don't get raped." People who get it. It's funny. Anyway, Mixed Business. No, it was a good song. Not a lot. I mean, it's fun and moves along, but I don't think it's saying a bunch.
No, I don't think so. But I think you're right. It mixes the Beach Boy style in with that the beach rock style in with the funk style, and it's pretty simple but upbeat and like a lot of fun. And totally. For sure,
I think this is like the most. At least I think this is the most feel good song of the album.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Just kind of like a fun jam, and it's good, but there's not a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's all we got to say about that. So let's go ahead and move on to Get Real Paid.
Yeah. This is a weird song, musically.
Oh, yeah. It's very, like, electronic-y.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it has that
Yeah, it's very synthy and just also like the way the vocalists come out in this is very monotone. We like the boys with the bulletproof vest. Like it's very monotone again. I don't need to repeat it again, but so it's very like odd in the musical sense. Like it's one of those that is kind of goofy and shows his weird side a little bit.
For sure, it's really like sterile.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like very monotonous.
That's a good way to
kind
put
of
it.
Sterile. Yeah. And I mean, I really like this song, and I think it has like a really fucked up meaning to it. I think it's like a matter of like sugar daddies.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you said, like we like the boys with the bulletproof vest, we like the girls with the cellophane chest.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's somebody who wants like this fake thing. Like they want a hard dude and they want fake broads and
Right.
Like I know you really want it because your daddy's always on it. He knows just how to flaunt it. He's got pictures in his wallet.
Right.
Like it's about like maybe paying for sex. I think. Really.
Yeah. That's
just
pretty much That's pretty much what I got out of it too.
Yeah, like a sugar baby, if you will.
Yeah.
Like just expressing like what a sugar daddy and a sugar baby want out of this, like. Yeah, well, I mean,
they straight up say it. Makes sense? We like to sit around and get real paid. Like, what other profession are you getting real paid? Are you getting paid to just fucking sit on your ass? you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I really like this song, but it's like I said, really sterile and kind of, and I think that's what's reflected in the idea of the song.
For sure.
It's not something genuine. It's kind of like robotic.
Yeah.
And like just baseless, and like it's just a physical thing, like fucking, but not having any meaning behind it.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that we do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would totally agree. I think it's a good song as well, but yeah, I think sterile's pretty much the perfect way of putting it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that. Okay, so moving on to Hollywood Freaks.
Yeah. What did you think about this song?
I really like this song.
Oh, really?
I really like this song. I think what he's doing is he's really being hyperbolic about, like the Hollywood lifestyle, like what people expect.
Yeah,
out of the people who live that lifestyle.
I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head. But I was just not into this one as much.
Well, I like it because I think he's just being like hyperbolic.
Yeah.
Like I think what he's doing, he's making fun of like rappers.
I think you're right. Just was not. I didn't care for it.
No, for sure. I mean, it's not. I had a hunch you wouldn't like this one just because it's so like hippie. Or not, I mean, hippie. Where the fuck did that come
I was gonna say.
I think I was reading a lyric and hippie came out. Like, I know. I'm sorry.
I'm good with hippie. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't care. It was the thing. Like, it's a well written song. I'll give him that. it just didn't do anything for me. Like, it didn't. I don't know.
No, for sure. I think I knew you. I had a hunch that I really had a hunch that I think this was like the song you didn't like. Of all the songs on this album, this would be the one you didn't care for at all.
Yeah.
Just because I know you, but but I think what he's trying to say, like he's making fun of rappers. Like, we drop lobotomy beats. Like,
right.
It's just some generic ass fucking rap song, like about hot sex and back rows, hot dogs and no-dos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
shit's not clever anymore. Like, get on your fucking game and be clever about shit again, you know? So.
Yeah, he's just saying about like, oh, I got this, I got that, da-da-da-da, yeah, that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. Also, since we're on being, on talking about knocking people, in one of his first albums, I can't remember which one it was, but he does have a song called MTV Makes Me Want to Smoke Crack. Okay. And so at the very beginning he like does this like really bluesy MTV makes me want to smoke crack, and then he like cuts to this like lounge lizardy fucking MTV makes me want to smoke crack. Like it's a really fun song.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
So check that one out too. I don't remember what album it's on, but goddamn, it's funny. Like
that just fucking makes me think. That makes me think of Beavis and Butthead. Just because they sit around on their couch and fucking watch MTV and just make fun of the dumb shit that comes on. So
that is funny you fucking said that, because I was just talking to one of my friends. We were working together, and I was asking him if he had seen the newer Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
We were talking about the old one, and then I was like, hey man, did you see any of the new ones? He's like, no, I didn't see it. I was like, well, they didn't do music videos anymore, but what they did was they watched like
they watched all the stuff that's on MTV.
That's on MTV.
And that's what they did back in the day too. Like they would make fun of the music videos that weren't like metal or rock or like hard rock, and then when the videos that would come on that were fucking metal and hard rock, they'd fucking rock out and fucking headbang and shit. And then walk around and do dumb shit around town. But yeah, the new one, man. So with the new Beavis and Butthead, fucking my favorite fucking line in that whole goddamn series.
You're gonna steal my fucking thunder.
Oh, okay. Is this exactly where you're going with it?
No. Go ahead.
Oh, no. You brought it up.
I'm not gonna take it away. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna steal it then. My fucking favorite thing. I guess Man, were we watching it together?
I want to say we were.
Okay, so that's probably...
Or maybe, I think you and your brother watched that episode, and then I caught up with you like a couple of days later, and I happened to watch it like a few days later, and we were losing our minds over it.
Yeah, so, alright, so they're watching, what they were watching, like Jersey Show or something like that?
I can't remember which show it was, but it was...
I don't know.
Yeah, it was something like
they're
that.
They're watching some weird fucking frat boy, like, reality show, and, Beavis says, man, these people are terrible actors. And Butthead says, they're not actors. And he says, oh yeah, they're not bad actors. They're just bad people.
They're just bad people. These are terrible actors. They're not actors. And they're just terrible people.
It's like the best fucking line in like the whole new series, and that shit, I probably laughed for a solid like 10 minutes.
That bit, and then the one where they wanted to be werewolves or vampires, and they went to they ended up in the hospital, and he had like some fucked up blood disease, and they're like,
yeah, dude, that werewolves one was really fucking good. Oh man,
yeah.
Oh man, I forgot about that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Please bring back Beavis and Butthead, my judge. We miss you so much. Like, we really miss you.
Oh, man.
Or just do anything, because everything you do is awesome.
It's such a shame that it did so poorly when it came back, because it was fucking so well written. God damn, it was
because
good.
It was on MTV.
Yeah.
If it would have been on anything else, it would have been.
They should have fucking. They should have fucking re-aired that shit on VH1, because that's where all the people that used to watch it were watching.
That's a good point.
Because fucking VH1 always does that, like, fuck yeah.
I think it's a rights issue, man.
Yeah.
If not, man, that'd be awesome. Like, I'd love for it to be like on, or like on Netflix or some shit like that. If they could pick up the rights, man, Beavis and Butthead, like...
Yeah, I think the problem with it is gonna be the fact that they still have to sample all the MTV fucking shows to do it right, and...
Well, they could do with Netflix shows. Like, they could, like do all the Netflix originals and, like, talk shit about all the different shows, like, that are on there.
Yeah, that's true.
Or Amazon or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, any one of the streaming services, I think they could pick it up pretty easy. Like, they could talk shit about BoJack Horseman or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but...
I don't know. Just
I don't know. Mike Judge basically can do no wrong. I mean, he's had a couple of duds, but for the most part, it's pretty much pure genius, so...
Can you name anything that he's done that wasn't amazing?
Daria was good, but it was not amazing.
I don't think that was him.
No, it wasn't? Because it was a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead.
It was, but I think somebody else picked it up and ran with it.
Oh, okay.
I think Daria was his original creation, but I think someone else picked it up.
That would make sense, because it was kind of meh.
Yeah, but I mean, think about everything. I mean, he did what?
I mean,
he did King of the Hill.
He did King of the Hill, which was amazing. He did...
Which is awesome. Beavis and Butthead.
Right.
He did Idiocracy.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Idiocracy. That was really
another
good.
movie he did. Office Space.
Yeah, he did. That's... Man. Office Space is fan-fucking-tastic.
Of course it is. It's Mike Judge does no wrong.
Yeah.
And also from Texas. Woo.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know his whole catalog, so I don't know, but everything that I've watched has been fucking awesome, so.
I feel like he's the David Hasselhoff of America. Like David Hasselhoff in Germany. Like they just fucking love him, and whatever shit he steps in turns to gold. Like that's what he does here. He can do no wrong. Anyway. he's like the fucked up version of Mr. Rogers. Anyway. Now, what were we talking? Oh, back to back. Right, so we're at Peaches and Cream.
Peaches and Cream. This was a good song. Kind of middle of the road for me on this album.
It slowed it down. It slowed the album down like by a bunch, and I think this is kind of like the song that makes that hard turn because like you got Sex Laws, Nicotine and Gravy, Mixed Business, Real Paid and Hollywood Freaks that are kind of up tempo and like really more upbeat, and this one is when it like starts to turn, and then from the rest of the album on it kind of slows down.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I liked it. I did like the bridge. Keep your lamplight trimmed and burning. Like, that was a fun little break. And then it has a really cool like outro thing that like it like kind of fades outward on that.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't really catch what he was trying to say exactly, but I feel like it was like somebody who's like in a relationship and keeping someone else down, like kind of like a how can I put this, like kind of somebody who's like, have you ever been around a couple and like one of them's kind of like really passive aggressive and kind of like pissy toward the other one, but like in a really subtle way? Like it's like a light mind fuck that they're going through. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I've seen that dynamic. I don't know if it was a. I mean, I wouldn't name a specific example if I had one, but I can't think of a specific example. But I feel like I know the type of dynamic you're talking about, where
like a couple, like where somebody they just make like these little snarky, slight comments that puts the other one down, but in a very like it's mellow way.
Yeah,
in a very
and if they get called on it, they play it off as like a joke and shit like that.
Yeah, it's being serious but not serious.
They're just like, oh well, I'm just kidding, obviously, like that kind of shit.
But you're really fucking not.
Right.
You're kind of being a bitch in a really minor way, but you're still being a bitch. I feel like that's kind of what he's trying to get across here. I feel like that's the tone of the words that he's saying.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it, because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I just heard Peaches and Cream a bunch, and I was like, okay.
Nailed it. So I didn't really. I tried really hard to understand that song, but I really couldn't get a good focus on it. Anyway. Let's go ahead and move on. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to Broken Train, my favorite song.
Okay. Why is this
second favorite song? Second favorite song.
Okay, But why is your...
Because Deborah, for sure.
Alright, so why is this one of your favorites?
I like that kind of, the beat itself, like, I don't know, man. It's, this song kind of sounds like when I ask a girl to go out with me. Okay. I'm gonna take a ride on a broken train. It's gonna be fun, but it'll be a little fucking crazy.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, this is a good song. I didn't really get it, but it was just kind of one of those that I just kind of rode along with, and I was like, yeah, alright, this is a good jam.
That, and it had that really, dizzy kind of ethereal dizzy background song, the music itself. I really liked it. It was one of those, I just couldn't get out of my head.
Yeah,
for some reason, this one, really stuck to me.
This one didn't get stuck in my head, but when if I was passively listening to this, so not really paying attention to the album, this song made its presence known because of that because of that kind of weird just thing that he had going on in the back.
Yeah, that do kind of thing. Yeah. I really like that. And honestly, I thought this would be your favorite song just for the last line. Did you ever let a cowboy sit on your lap?
I did like that.
I feel like you said that to somebody at a bar or something. You're trying to pick up a girl and you
that is right up there with cheesy shit that I would say. But and I did like that line. That line did stick out to me. But
that one hit me really hard. And I really like that line. Do you ever let a cowboy sit on your lap? I feel like I now have to use that on a girl. Now I have to say that to somebody. You ever let a cowboy sit on your... But in the exact way he does it. Because okay, so Beck is like... He's not a very big person.
No.
Like, he's kind of like my stature, and I'm 5'8", and I weigh like 120.
Right.
And I think he's like 5'6" and 130. But this guy can dance. He can boogie, he can soft shoe like a son of a bitch. And I feel like if this little dude comes up to you with like all these moves and says some weird shit to you, like if I was a girl, I'd be like, no, but you can now. Yes, I will let a cowboy sit. Yeah, you can now. Goddamn. Like, I feel like Beck like rolled 20 on charisma, and he's just fucking like, and he knows it, and he just drips it.
Well,
he's like the White Prince. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I think that's something you share with him. Like, you have pretty good charisma, and
oh, I'm not. No, but if I could dance, I would fucking take over his life. Like, I would murder this man, and I would just beat Beck Hansen for the rest of my life.
You'd have to learn a hell of a lot about music theory.
That, and I'd have to be a Scientologist, which I don't want to do.
Yeah, I don't think that's required, but he is that weird.
No,
so.
Well, no, he is a Scientologist, and that's what kills me. Yeah, he's a Scientologist. Damn yous! But I love this. I like this. Like, number 2 song. I think it's it's the best. It's the second best song on this album, just because it's got a really fun dizzy beat, and it has like the what are they, mallets? It's not a xylophone, because xylophones, they use like the rubber or the plastic mallets, right? But the other one, like, it's like a xylophone, but it has like the little,
like a marimba. I don't think that's right either.
No, it's like a xylophone, but it has like, but it's, I think instead of the little pins being metal, they're wood, and they have like and you use those like wool mallets. Shit. I can't remember. It's something like a xylophone, but it's not a xylophone, and it has a little chime thing. I don't know. Shit, I was in band and I was in percussion. I can't remember the fucking thing. I played all stupid shit in band.
I fucking know the instrument you're talking about, and
they're like wooden blocks in a xylophone form, and you hit the thing. Anyway, it has those in the background.
It'll be like, tomorrow morning I'll be sitting at work going through like some fucking data and analytics or something like that, and it'll fucking pop into my brain. I'll be like, God damn it, you know? Like, I want to say marimba, but I don't think that's right either. So I don't know.
Like a xenophone. I don't know. Anyway. I like that sound. Like, it has that deep. It's like a xylophone, but it has a more bassy, kind of earthy sound to it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of I just kind of got lost in the music.
It's not quite as glassy or metallic.
Yeah, for sure. It's more woody and like resonating, I guess you could say. Right. All right. So we're moving on to Milk and Honey.
So, when I came up with the idea, Therapist the Game.
Okay.
Most of the people that if I told people about this, which was mostly just like my roommates and people that hung out around the house on a very regular basis, because I thought it was really fucking funny. The majority of people would be like, "Dude, that's fucked up," or like, "You're really fucking weird." And 10 years later, I tell you, and you just crack the fuck up. So,
hey man, we're best friends for a fucking reason, man. We're both fucked up together. We're fucked up in the same way.
Is that the next
Milk and Honey? Yes, sir.
Okay. This was another one that just kind of passed by without much reaction from it. If I'm being honest, kind of forgettable to me.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I see that. I did like the drums and like the strings that came with this song. Yeah,
I mean, again, not a terrible song or anything, just not just.
You didn't think it was that memorable?
Yeah, it's not. It's not one of the songs that like from a lot of these songs, I can remember distinct lyrics from, and this one I don't. So that, or I can remember like distinct musical themes, and this one again, I just don't. So
I remember the hard violins, and the outro is really good. Like it has like that heavy violin outro. But as far as I think you're right. Like I don't remember a lot. I don't remember. In fact, when I read the words, I was like, man, I don't even remember hearing these. I just remember milk and honey pouring down like money.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
the chorus. If I try, I can hear it when I'm looking at the lyrics. I can totally hear it. But outside of that, like it's not a song that is immediately memorable to me. So.
I don't think it is either. For me, as well, it's not a bad song. It's just I feel like Broken Train, and it's between my two favorite songs.
Okay.
My 2 and 3 favorite songs. So I was like, okay, well, like Dad said, this is a pee song. Of this album, this is the pee song.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna pull over and take a pee. Okay, well, I really don't have anything to say about it, really.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to comment on this song because I just don't remember much about it. And not being super familiar with the album, it's one of those things where I don't.
I just remember like the heavy drums and the violins. That's about everything that I remember. Milk and Honey, and then the strings and the dun 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 dun. And then the outro was fun, but beyond that, meh.
Okay.
Which leads us to Beautiful Way.
Beautiful Way.
My number 3. I love this song. This is where, I mean, I know like Peaches and Cream kind of slowed the album down, but this is like I feel like this is the slowest song on the album.
Right. Yeah.
And like,
I think I would agree with you there. This is not one of the forgettable songs for me. It's not one of my favorites, but it did kind of ring with some kind of connection. Just mainly the chorus, the such a beautiful way to break your heart kind of thing. I just thought, I don't know, I don't remember, I don't think I understand the full message of the song, but I thought it was pretty.
I think, well, honestly, I would, when I've listened to it and really thought about it, it's about like, have you ever had like a relationship where this person was very kind of shitty to you, but very like did it very well where it didn't like hurt you? Like she wasn't a great person, but something about that person's aura had like softened the blow. If that makes sense, how can I put this? If you looked at this objectively, it would have been like a really fucked up situation, but because that person like charmed you so well that you kind of overlooked all that.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
Like you overlooked all the terrible things just because of like the person's just the way about them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't think I've been on the receiving end of that. In like a romantic relationship, in a friendly relationship, certainly.
Well, maybe in that, like, just somebody who's like really flirty, but does like not like shitty things, but like minorly shitty things.
Yeah, no, I mean,
but they have this aura about them that they can kind of get away with that.
Yeah, I think I've had friends like that in the past that it's taken, too long to be like, okay, no, they're just a kind of a shitty person, like super charismatic and easy to get along with, but actually kind of a shitty person underneath it all.
Yeah, but you kind of overlook that shittiness because of their like charisma or they're just the way about them. Like they just have a really good way with either you or people in general. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's this song. I think it's about someone who like such a beautiful way to break my heart. Like someone who was elegantly, I wouldn't say using somebody, but got their way, but was very good about doing so. Like, the words are escaping me right now, but
no, I think you're right in line with. God, I need to stop repeating words.
Words. Come on, Macbeth.
No, I think you're right there. You've got a good outlook on what he was getting at. I kind of I think I'm being a little slow because I'm still processing this idea with what I remember about the song, and so yeah, I mean it's just got some interesting. It's a pretty song though. Like, it's if you attach that to that message of like a person is shitty, but they've got that charismatic aura and that way of charming people to like them regardless of their shitty acts, then it makes sense to pair it with a pretty song. And I think that's something that Beck does well. I think that's a theme we're going to find with all the artists on this list, frankly speaking, because I think I've said that with all the other artists, but like that, because it makes a good artist to be able to pair the message you're getting across in the lyrics with your melodies and your backing tracks and your rhythms and just the musical details. That's what makes a good artist, right? So
yeah, I mean you've got to match what you're saying with the mood, or do the opposite. You know what I mean? Like like in Nicotine and Gravy. No idea that was about kidnapping somebody. You know what I mean?
I just thought it was a good funky beat that just kind of, made my head bob. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
You know what this song reminds me of? Did you ever watch the show The Boondocks?
Yeah, the animated show that was on Cartoon Network for a while with the little black kids.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a great fucking show.
It was a really good show. There was one episode that where the grandpa was in love with like a hooker. And I think that was the one where it had a pimp named Slickback.
Yeah.
He got to say the whole thing. It's a pimp named Slickback.
Yep. It's not Slickback. It's a pimp.
It's a pimp named Slickback. So
I feel like was Cat Williams the voice of that pimp?
That was Cat Williams.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, no, man, that was a really funny episode because he tried to God damn it, what's the movie? I lost it.
Pretty Woman?
Yeah, he tried to Pretty Woman her, and she just fucking took advantage of him, and she was just a shitty person, but could totally put on the sweet face and put out. So yeah. And
I think like think of like this song through Grandpa's eyes.
Yeah.
With that girl.
Yeah.
Does that make it a little more clear?
Yeah. No, I mean, you're totally. That's a great analogy.
Like he's trying to save her from something.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's a good one. In fact, I actually watched the. It was about a week ago. I watched the episode with the where Grandpa's like enemy dies, and then he has to give the eulogy at his funeral. I think it was called Wingman or something like that. And the guy was a dick. Like, the guy was a total dick to everybody. And he was a real big dick to Robert, but, like, they were best friends.
Right.
And, like, he had to, like, he said he'd give him a big prize if he gave the eulogy at his funeral. And so he did it. And he was like, and he talks about Mo. I think his name was Mo. And he was like, yeah, Mo was an asshole, but he did this, and he was my friend, and blah, 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 blah. He was a dick, but fuck it. He was my friend, and I love him. And then, like, Mo's big reward was a big can of fucking nuts. He's like, this is what you get. These nuts! I got you from beyond the grave! Anyway. But yeah, that's how, anyway, about the episode before that, but that's how I feel like this song is. Like, you see a hot mess, and you want to try to save that person, but they're fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're gonna fuck up, you know what I mean? Like, you want to save them, but they're still gonna be shitty and move on with their lives,
They're a pathological liar, and they're a piece of shit, and they don't care about you, yeah.
Well, not to say that they don't care, exactly, but it's just, they're gonna do whatever they want to do.
Right.
But it was I think, in the end, it was a pleasure of having them in your life, even though you knew you were being taken advantage of.
Yeah. Okay. I like that analogy. It was a pretty song.
Yeah, no, beautiful song. Beautiful song. Anyway, moving on to Pressure Zone.
I don't know how you felt about this one. This was another kind of forgettable one for me, if I'm being honest.
Oh, this one. I like the beat of this song. Like, dun, 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 dun. Like, I really did like this song. It's only a phase. Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It was good background music when I was just working in the workshop, but it's not something I remember anything about, really.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think Milk and Honey and this one are both, I think the beats are good, but I don't really remember a lot of what he's trying to say or any of that kind of thing.
To be perfectly honest, what I remember most about this song is picking up my phone and going, okay, what is this again?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is... Milk and Honey was a good song because it had, like, a lot of stuff in the background. And this one was... I think this was, like, the most straightforward, like, song. Which is... It's not, like... It's not that it's, like, not complex. But as far as, like, the whole album goes, this is the most, like, straightforward song. It's, like, just a heavy guitar and drums. And it doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles like every other song does, like every other songs do.
For sure. It's just, I just don't remember anything about this song, man. I'm sorry.
I think it's like the shortest song on this. I think it's only like 2 minutes or something like that. But I mean, it's got the heavy guitar, dun 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 dun, dun, but I don't really, I don't remember a lot of it either.
Yeah.
Mostly blah, 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 blah. Let's get to both of our number ones.
There we go. Yeah. Let's talk about Deborah.
Let's talk about Deborah. Well, actually, let's talk about Jenny. Why don't we talk about Jenny?
Yeah, because she's the one that he wants to get with. Well, and her sister. I think her
and her
Deborah.
sister. I think her name's Deborah. So this song, okay. So I've been waiting to talk about this song the whole album because I fucking love this song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Deborah, I feel like the music is real smooth and like real like sexy and smooth and suave and stuff like that. And what comes out of his mouth is so fucking weird and awkward.
It is, but okay. So this song,
it fucking works, dude.
It does, and this whole fucking song is falsetto, like the whole goddamn thing. So I'm not gonna lie, I fucking looked up this song. Like I looked up how to play it because I was like, I know I can't pull off the falsetto, but I could knock it down an octave and fucking play this song and like have a couple of little like falsetto breaks in there. And it's 2 fucking chords over and over again. It's like G and F just like over and over and over, just rocking back
beautiful.
and forth. It's so simple. It's so simplistic, but it's so fucking brilliant. Like, dude, he's just this song. Like it doesn't have a lot to it. It's literally just, yo, I want to fuck you. Oh, and can we make it a menage with your sister? Cause she fine too. What's her name? Deborah?
I think her name's Deborah. That sounds right.
I think your name tag said Jenny. Her name's Deborah? Oh man. It's fucking, it's like the idiot savant of picking a chick up. Like, it sounds dumb, but it's fucking genius.
Okay.
Like
after you say that,
the song itself is that way. But really, he's just talking about I want to fuck you and your sister.
Two things. This song's awesome. This song, it's hands down the best song on the album. Like, hands down the best song on the album. So, like, the mood and the music of this song, like, when I go to talk to a girl to, like, pick her up, that's what I feel in my head, is the music. You know what I mean? Like, I got this fucking shit going on. I'm dripping fucking charisma. Ooh, I want to steps. Yeah. Like, that's going on in my head. And then the words are the words that come out of my mouth. And it's stupid. It's so fucking terrible. It's so fucking awkward.
Yeah, it really
I couldn't
is.
step to you with a fresh pack of gum.
Yeah. Like, dog, that's not gonna work. But you know, in this song it does. It's so fucking good.
It really does. Like, like the words are so ridiculous. It's insane. But the music's so good. Like, I love how this is. I don't know. This is what I do to pick up women. Like, I say the dumbest shit. When I feel confident in doing it, I feel like I'm coming in with some fucking heavy thickness. Like, I got this shit all day. I didn't even have to worry about this. You want some gum? Jenny.
As you look down at
As I look at her fucking name tag, I'm trying to look at her tits. No, I'm looking at her tits, but I happen to fucking glance at her fucking name tag as well. No, but this is a beautiful song. Like, it's so funny. Like, it's so great.
It really is, though, Brack.
It's really so great. It really is, Brack.
I like fucking. It's so dumb. Like, it's so fucking dumb. Like, he's just like, I say, lady, step inside my Hyundai. Like, fucking, what? Like, dude, it's so fucking dumb. And he's like, I'm gonna do you like the Zan cow chicken. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, that's not gonna work. But when it's paired with this song, you're just like, oh, that's the good stuff, you know? Like,
because honestly, like, the first couple of times I heard this song, like, I never listened to the lyrics. Like, I was just lost in the music because I was like, ooh, this is
for sure.
Now.
For sure.
Ooh,
I had dog, I had to listen to this song like at least 4 or 5 times before I even heard any of the words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this song, like, encapsulates, like, Lovage. Like, the entire Lovage album. Like, that's what this song is, just sexy and awesome.
Yeah, man. I just, it's fucking awesome. Like, I don't know. This shit was just like, out of this world, ridiculous, and it just works.
And that's why I think I really like this song, because it's so absurdum. Like, it's so absurd. Like, I don't know. I feel like Beck watched me try to hit on a girl once. And then he thought, like, this motherfucker thinks he's a 10. He's coming in with a solid 2.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, the way these words are with the way the music is and the way he presents it with the just his prowess. It's the idiot savant way of getting laid. Like, it's so dumb, but it's so well delivered. It's fucking genius. Like
have you ever been at a bar where, like, you saw a dude walk up to a girl and you're like, man, this fucking guy is gonna fucking fail hard, and then they go home together and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
yeah, dude.
One time, like, when a 5 took home a 10. And you're like, get the fuck out of here. That did not just happen. That's this song.
Yeah. It totally is. And it's ridiculous.
Oh, but it's hysterical. Oh, but it's so good. Like, it's so good. Like, that's what, and Beck, I don't know. This is really, like, what embodies Beck. Is that he can take the most ridiculous shit and make it really good.
Yeah, dude. I'm right there with you.
Honestly, what this song makes me think of is, did you ever listen to that, the South Park album? The Chef Aid album? Where it had like a bunch of different people. It had, Chef Aid. Oh god. Anyway, there was a song on there, and it was, Isaac Hayes as Chef.
Right.
Singing about, about how he wanted to sleep with a girl or whatever. And, the song was called Simultaneous Lovin'. And he's talking about, like, I want to just sleep with you. I just want to massage your back and get all this. And with Whitney Houston. On the radio, I mean, like, and I'm talking about you and me and her simultaneous loving, baby. Like,
man, I've heard some Chef songs. I don't know if I've heard Simultaneous Lovin', but
you need to stop right fucking now.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
We're
going to finish this. I may have. It's been fuck, man. I was probably in high school when I was looking that shit up.
And if anybody else hasn't heard that song, you need to stop right fucking now and listen to that song. It is hysterically awesome.
Like, I probably have. I've seen most of the South Park episodes. At least everything before the last, like, couple years.
Well, the episode itself was, where, Chef sues Alanis Morissette for, a song that he wrote, and they didn't give him credit, and then he gets countersued, and he's broke.
Oh.
And then everybody and, like, all these artists come in to help Chef.
Okay. Yeah.
But they released an album with, like, a ton of artists.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but God, dude, it's probably been since fucking high school since I sought that shit out.
Okay, well, you need to do that, because it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I'll go back and give it another listen.
Anyway. Okay, so that's the album.
Yeah, man. Fucking ending on literally the high note of the album.
Yeah, because he does falsetto.
Yeah. And because it's the best song.
Yeah. And man, I really would like to see him play this live.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I really would like.
When I looked up how to play this, I pulled up a video of him playing it live acoustic, and he doesn't do the falsetto, or at least in the video I saw. This was only one video, so take it with a grain of salt. But in the one video I saw him playing, he didn't do the falsetto the whole time. Like he started the song without it, just like met you, J.C. Penney's. I think your name tag said Jenny. Like he didn't do straight out falsetto.
Jenny! Yeah, he didn't do that.
But yeah, man, like I think it would be awesome to see him to do this thing fucking live. Like also I gotta preface that when I pulled up the live video, as like he starts playing guitar and you get the normal like woos or whatever, but as soon as he fucking says the first line of the song, the crowd goes ape shit. So it ain't just us. Like, this is a fucking bomb-ass song.
Oh, no. I mean, it is a bomb-ass song. Like, this is, I mean, literally the best song on the album. And it's, like, super, like, ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So,
anyway. Okay.
That was fucking this song.
That was Midnight Vultures, the album. Or at least our opinion of it.
Yeah. The album. Fuck. Sorry. I'm a little dumb sometimes.
Sometimes. So what'd you think, bub? How would you rate this?
Man.
If you were to give it, I don't know.
Okay.
From Jenny to Deborah, how would you
on a scale of from Jenny to Deborah, I said, man, I gotta give it a solid Jenny. Tom Hanks Jenny,
I was being silly, like, really, what do you think? Like, on a scale of 1 to...
man, this is gonna be... it had some forgettable songs on it. The Hollywood song wasn't my favorite. But goddamn, Deborah. Like... And Sex Laws and fucking I mean, let your freak flag fly with that mixed business. Gotta give it let's go with an 8. Solid 8.
You gonna go 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay. See, I was on that rocker of, do I go 7.5? Do I go 8? Like, I was kind of right there. So, I think
only because, like I said earlier, that I really disagree that this is like his best album. It's definitely his funkiest, and don't get me wrong, Deborah is the crowning jewel of this album.
Yeah. But
honestly, I think Sea Change is a better album. I think Mutations is just as good, if not better than this one, and it has a little more. I think Mutations does a little more variety. I think Sea Change itself. Weto is pretty good. Weto's good. I think that one. I think Weto and Midnight Vultures are kind of on the same level. Like, they're good, but I think Sea Change was a way better album. It hits me in the darkened feels. And Mutations, I think that album itself was it did a lot more to showcase like his variety. I feel like this one was heavy like funk and stuff. Like, there's some folk, there's a little bit of variety, but heavy in just funk, which he does a lot more. He has a lot more variety in Mutations,
right?
And Sea Change, I think, is just he has more to say in that album, and it's, I don't know. So I mean, it's not a bad album, but it's not my favorite Beck album. Again, I'm a super fanboy of Beck, and this not being my favorite album doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not. I don't think this should have been. If they went with a Beck album, I think this isn't the one they should have picked.
I feel you. I understand that there's going to be some of that.
Again, but I hate to be that person to say that about this, but I this is somebody I know. Also, like with like Elliott Smith, like I knew Elliott Smith's out, like all of his work. And so when they put that out, like when they picked that particular album that wasn't my favorite, I'm gonna kind of shit on it a little bit.
Yeah,
especially because
I get that.
Like there's 10 songs on this album, or 11?
11, yeah.
There's 11 songs on this album, and two of them were forgettable. Like Milk and Honey and Pressure Zone, nothing. Peaches and Cream was okay.
Yeah.
Like, you got 3 out of 11 songs that are kind of forgettable, and one I know you didn't like Hollywood Freaks, I know you didn't like, and Get Real Paid was kind of sterile, like didn't do a lot for me.
Yeah, I liked that song, but it was very sterile.
It didn't do a lot for me, and I mean, it's not a bad album, but it's not. It has its flaws.
Yeah, that's totally understandable.
So, yeah, that's what I think.
All right.
If you think differently, go fuck yourself. Anyway, with all that being said, anything else you want to add or talk about? I know I ruined next episode.
That's okay. Nobody knows what album we're talking about or anything like that, or even the artist. They just know that we have a special guest, and it's awesome. It's going to be a good episode, guys. We did record it before this one, but it's really good. We didn't have the same audio issues we're having now.
Thank God.
So with all that being said, thanks for listening. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. We are also at sadpandapresents.com. Get us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/sadpandapresentspodcast. Feel free to check us out wherever you get your podcasts, even though I already said that. And if you want us to check out an album, do what Kyle did, do what another person has done, and we'll get to their album as well eventually, and leave us a message on Facebook, on like the when we post the albums on Facebook, leave us a message or send us a message, or whatever. If we don't respond, we didn't see it, so do it again.
And again.
Right. And we'll totally
annoy the shit out of us, please.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll totally get to it. We'll have a conversation, and we'll definitely do these albums, because we've had 2 suggestions, and we've already recorded both of them. So,
and they were both good. And I'd like to hear, honestly, I'd like to hear what people like to listen to. If we could not do prog rock, that'd be fun. If somebody has like a jazz album they like or something, or heavy metal, whatever it may be. Whatever you like. We want to know what you like, and we would like to talk about it.
Definitely.
Anyway, with all that being said, I'm Shane.
And I'm Drewski.
Thank you for listening, guys. I hope you'll have a great night and a better tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Sounds like a fucking West Virginia maiden call.
No, that's
that's the bottle, which is still fucking funny to this day.
Yeah, man.
It's still hysterical.